Hey everyone, welcome back to SFDC Panther. This is Amit, and in this video we are going to talk about what are all important Google Chrome extensions that you can use while you are working within your Salesforce environment. So let's quickly start one by one. On the top of my list is Organizer for Salesforce, which was developed by Enrico Muru, the Salesforce MVP. So to install that, you just need to go to Google Chrome apps. So how you can go to, just click on new tab, and then you will get this apps, and you need to go to web store here, and after that you just need to search Organizer for Salesforce, and after that you will get there should be two results after you type the complete word Organizer for Salesforce. One will be the extension and the other will be theme. So we are mostly going to focus on this Organizer for Salesforce. Once you will install, you will get this extension on the bottom of your Salesforce environment, and it works in both Salesforce Lightning and Classic as well. What all we can do is, I will quickly brief you here. So you have quick links here on the top of here. If you wanted to find something, like you wanted to go to account object, everything that you have, you can go there. You have some custom objects. You can also get what are all custom objects and standard objects, whatever it will match, it will return you if you wanted to find some other objects. So here, to search the metadata, you can find anything and it will return the list. And once you select, let's say that you wanted to find out the contact fields, or you wanted to, let's say that I wanted to go to the contact object, and I wanted to know what are all the limits that my contact is having, like what are all the custom fields that I do have, any roll up summary fields, and what is the limit, you can find out here. So this is how quickly you can do that. And then after, we have got quick console. That means if you click here, it will open a console for you in a pop-up, and then again all the windows all the options you will get here. You wanted to do some kind of query, you can write your query here, and all the query will be saved here once you will execute. So let me quickly show you. So if I say click ID, name, rating from account, limit 100, 1000, if you once you click here, you can see that we are able to see. And the best thing is that it will show you the drop down, the pagination. You can search the things here. So let's say that I wanted to search measure here, I will see the only those values that are mapping with the search term. And next thing, if you wanted to make the changes in the pagination, you can select, and based on your selection it will reflect, and even you see the pagination is there as well. And then if you see here on the drop down, you can find next thing that you have is, you wanted to execute some code here, you can execute that code here even without leaving your window. You will get the complete debug log here, and you can see what all you wanted to set. You wanted to either finished, warning, error, you can select what all debug you wanted to execute, and you can see here what you wanted to get. Put your code here, and it will work as an anonymous window that you do in your developer console. And then next thing is S object field. You can provide an ID here once you'll query here. So let me quickly do one thing. I'll go to leads, find out one lead for you, and then I will put that ID here. So if I put ID, see here, query all fields, what it will return, it will return all the fields for that object, for that particular record, with the help of your with the label and the API name as well. So you can find out here, you can edit, and then you can save it. So let's say that I'm putting this 763, I'm saving it, it will save that record, and the record will definitely going to reflect into database. So if you say, you can see the annual revenue here, I can see whatever I made the changes. So this is also very cool feature for this. And then we have quick org describe. Then if you wanted to get the complete description of your environment, for example, you have how many objects you do have, and then you wanted to get the fields, you can just click on the describe next to that object, and you will find here, and then you have select, and once you select, you will get a query here, and you can copy that query and paste into the query anonymous window that we saw here in the query. That is, so if you type, and I'm going to put some limit of 10 records, so you can see that we are getting 10 records with all the fields that we just copied from there. So this is also just if you wanted to get the fields, or if you wanted to get the complete fields information, you can quickly get from here. And then if you wanted to convert your 15-digit record ID into the 18-digit, this feature is also there. How you can make the settings into your this console, you have got like you just need to have an option here. Go there, you will find you have feature here where you wanted your button either on the horizontal or vertical. What should be the position, you can drag and drop here. What is the API, you can set. The formula field editor you can find as well. These are the things that you can find here. You can organize your links as well, and you also have got sort keys. You can find out which sort keys you wanted to use, and for the quick link you can use here. So these are all the sort keys that you can use, and then you can enable the encryption as well. For the import and export, you need to select, you have a sample file here, select that file, click on import data, or you wanted to export. You can also schedule a backup here, and this is also a useful feature. And then in the advanced section you can download the logs, and you can reset all the data, local data, on this Chrome extension. So this was one of the useful, I can say the top priority or top choice for developers if you are working inside a Salesforce environment. This extension is very useful for you. And next extension that I'm going to show you is Salesforce Advanced Code Searcher. This is also very useful. You saw in Organizer for Salesforce, we have got how we can quickly work with metadata. We wanted to search objects, fields, and we wanted to get the limits and all. But in case of we wanted to search FS class quickly, we have got this. We wanted to search VF page, Lightning components. We wanted to search static resources, email templates, workflow rules. All these options that we can search here is. So just to install this is Salesforce Advanced Code Searcher. Again, you just need to go to web store, find that Salesforce Advanced Code Searcher, and then you will find that extension. You just need to add into your Google Chrome. So definitely I'll be putting all those links into the description of this video. This is the extension that I did added into my Google Chrome. And then apart from searching here, let's say that you wanted to search some, you will put some keyword here, and it will list all the classes matching with that keyword. You have some triggers, you are putting some keywords here, you will get what all triggers you do have. Apart from this, you will also get few more features from this extension, and that is, if you go to setup on the home page of your Salesforce, you will get some more utilities. That is for you can search a particular text inside your code, inside your class, inside your VF page or trigger or VF component. You wanted to get the complete code coverage, so it is aggregate code coverage, or you can say independent code coverage, organization wide code coverage. You can just select any. Let's say that I want to select here. We don't have aggregate code coverage. Yep, we do have this much of records. I think we have 69 records, and if we try to do a pagination here, we can see 100 of. And we can even export these details into an Excel file. Sometimes you wanted to know which class has the coverage percentage and how many lines are being covered, and what are the lines covered, what are lines uncovered, and this is the percentage of coverage. So this is also useful. And then Lightning Lintel, and this is the new thing that we have got, is just to find out what our Lightning component, what are the we can say that what else we can improve into our Lightning component. Once you will hit, click on this, Lightning Lintel will run that behind the scene, and then it will list all the components with the issues. Either you don't need to debug, or you have some nested for loops, nested FLs. You will get here like this. You can see you have you unused variables, we have parsing error, we are getting some spaces, we have no equals or comma spacing. So all these things you can see here, and you can see, or you can download your result and then you can make the changes there. You also have Apex PMD, that is a new tool as well. You can quickly run this PMD analysis, that is for static code into your system, inside your Apex classes, and it will tell you the best practices for writing an Apex code. Again, it will give you the result and you can make the changes there. So this was the second that we saw, and the third one that we have got is for.com logins. So this extension is, again, force.com logins is very useful for storing the credentials for you. So I'm sure every one of you might be working with 2 or 3 environments. You might have some personal developer environments, you have some Salesforce environment that is of sandbox, you have production environment. So all these you can store, and with the free force.com logins you can store up to 10 credentials. So if you wanted to store more than 10, you need to go to the upgraded version of these logins. You can see that I have got tab, window, and if you select here, if I select new window, it will open up a new window for me, and it will log in into my system and open the home page of my environment. So you can say it is asking for a verification code. And even in the organizer for Salesforce, there is one more feature that you can see here. If you click on this icon, which is for organizer for Salesforce, you can see that you have got logins. Even you can store your credentials here as well. If you don't want to use force.com logins, you can use this, store your credentials, and you are good to go. And in your org environment, you can see what is active org. This is my org, and I wanted to go to home page, I wanted to go to setup or developer console, I can use here. And even I do have a setting, I can define the label, and I can select the hex code as well for my orgs. So this is all about force.com logins. And next thing that we have is the fourth extension is API names, Salesforce API names. Suppose that even we saw how we can work with Salesforce organizer for Salesforce to get the API name, but let's say that I'm here and I just wanted to know what all the API name for all these labels that I'm seeing here in a record detail page. First thing that is, it only works in Classic, it doesn't work, and they did not implemented this into the Salesforce Lightning environment as of now. So if you are in Lightning, then organizer for Salesforce will be the first choice to get the API name, and even the object setup is already there if you want to go ahead with that. But for Salesforce for API name, this is the login, and that is API names. You just need to click on this extension, and what it will do is it will change your labels into the API name, actual API name. You can see here, these are some custom fields I do have, and it changed the API name for me. So this is also very useful extension if you are in Classic and you wanted to get to know the API name in a very quick manner. You don't want to go there and then click on what was that object fields and to get that. And even you can use the quick links or shortcuts that we saw just by going to the options and use that, and you will open that pop-up to quickly see the API names. So this is how this is useful for seeing the API name in Classic. Now let's talk about one other important extension for Salesforce is Salesforce colored 5 icons. So this 5 what it does is, if you see that the color code for my environment is I think green, and if I open some other environment, let's suppose I'm opening this environment and again I'm trying to open one more environment. So what it will give me is to distinguish between or to bifurcate between these 2 or these 3 environments. It will change the color icons. If you see here, if you can see the color icon 5 icon is changed for this particular home page, and the color 5 icon is changed for this environment, and you can even customize as per your need what for what instance you want it to what kind of color. So if you go there and you have options here on this colored 5 icons, once you click here, you can see that I have all these instance registered with my this colored 5 icons, and you can see you can change the color. If you wanted to change here, you can select here like this, whatever the color you wanted to change, and you can quickly identify either you are in developer or you are in sandbox or you are in production environment. And when it is useful, so even we discussed for this force.com logins that we might have multiple environments and we wanted to save the credentials. The same thing is with this force colored 5 icons. Suppose that we have two environments, one is production and one is sandbox, and you are working in a feature or you are working some kind of customization in sandbox, and suddenly you started working in production and you didn't later on you realize that, oh shit, this is production environment and I made the changes there. So to make sure that to bifurcate between the environments, you can use this extension and it will be very useful for you to identify between the different environments. Like if you can see the exact, like if you can see the clear difference between these two environments, I will be knowing that yeah, this is my different environment and this is my different environment. So this is how useful this colored 5 icon is. Now the next thing that we are going to discuss is that we have got is we have Salesforce Dev Tools. This is also a very important tool for us. And how it is important? The way I only used to extract the fields API name for a particular object. So there sometimes there is a requirement, we wanted to get the data dictionary for a particular object, how many fields are there, what is the data type of that fields, how those fields are related with each other, all those information we wanted to get. Then what we usually we do is going to the object and then get all those fields, copying those fields and putting into the Excel sheet. What we can do is we can use this Salesforce Dev Tools, which is this works in case both Salesforce Lightning and Salesforce Classic as well. And if you see here, we have got show object API name. If we see, even this also working, this also is working fine. You can see the name, this is the API name. We are getting the things here with this tool as well. And then we have got export. This is a new feature for us. If we say export object definition, if we select this and we have got lead, let's quickly save this, and after saving this we will try to save it. So let's say that we are here and let's wait to open this Excel sheet, and then you can see here we have got every single information about the fields. We have got let me find out if we do have a formula field here in this. Okay, we don't have, but if you see here we have some picklist field. All the values that we have got here is we have and either it is a required or not, what is the length, what is the data type, what is the label, API name. So everything we can get with the help of this tool in a single click, and then we can quickly send it to our senior management or to client as per the requirement. And even we have new record page if you wanted to create some new. So these are few useful actions you have list. You can do the settings as well, and then we have query editor. Just to do a query, you can select a field, which fields you wanted to, and again if you wanted to export that result into an Excel file, you have that option as well here. So this is also a useful extension, but all we have Apex code generator. If you see, for creating a lead, we have we quickly, if we say include blank fields, you can find this as well. So this is a quick snippet code generator for us, but I don't use. You can use as per your need. We can search the debug logs, we can search the objects as well. Let's say that I wanted to search account here. I do have this account, and then I wanted to let's say that I have exported account, and then I have got account contact role, account contact relationship, and then I can search contact, and then you can export this either ERD you wanted to save, or you wanted to get the object definition files, again the fields. If you have multiple multiple objects, you wanted to get the definition for those, you can get here, just select this, and this will open up a new file for us, and we can see here this is the API name, what contact standard, all those, so we can get here. For the account we have the fields names here. For the account contact role we have got those field name. For the account contact relationship, for the contact. So this is a very pretty tool for us to extract the data dictionary for a particular object or for multiple objects, and this is why I use this extension tool, and I'll say this is also be useful for you. And then we have got a next extension, that is Apex Debugger. So this is for reading the debug log into a very readable format, and this is basically working in a classic. So to show you how it actually works is, so let me quickly go to the debug log. I've already generated a debug log for you so that we can quickly see. So let's quickly go to debug log here, and I have one debug log generated for you, and what I will do, I don't think we do. Okay, let's quickly see. If you don't have, we'll quickly try to generate a debug log by going to the developer console, or we can quickly use this anonymous window. We can use quickly anonymous window, just execute this. We have got this debug log. What we'll do is, I'll just quickly say load new logs. So you can see, once you will install your Apex debugger into your system, you will find these two new buttons. One is delete all, one is load new logs. What it will do, once you click on this button, it is going to refresh this particular portion as well. That means it is going to re-render this portion, and you will see all the new logs here. And if you click a view here, you can see we have got a pretty cool layout here to see the debug logs, and this is the debugs, and you can find everything here, hello world, and what are all else. Even if you have some kind of IDs here, you can see if you click here, you will quickly redirect to that record ID, and this is of a user, that's why you are redirecting to a user ID. So Salesforce Debugger is basically used for debugging, seeing a debug into a pleasing way, and you can change the size. If you wanted to change the size here, let's say that if you want to say 28, you can see the size are bigger now. You have expand all, and you wanted to see system mode, show timings, everything you will get here. Whatever we do have is, so let me quickly change it to by default it was, and we can see it. And the last but not the least one, we have one more extension that is for Lightning. So I'll quickly switch back to Lightning, and then I will show you which is Lightning extension itself. What it does is, we have got a dark mode here, we can customize the components, and then this is the link grabber. I have not explored this, so we are going to talk about this dark mode here. So that's why I'm using for this extension. So what it does is actually change the mode of your Lightning environment. So if you see default mode, it is disabled, and you will get a white screen, but if you enable it, you will get a black screen, and based on that you will also get some pleasing screen as well. So these are the basic extension, or some useful extensions that a Salesforce developer must use. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and feel free to put the comment into the comment section. And yes, I'll be posting all the links for all these extensions in the description of this video. Thank you for watching this video, and please do like, subscribe, and share with your colleagues and your friends. Thank you.